Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to be making a diamond painting pen with a hybrid blank I just poured using gold, copper, and silver flake and manzanita burl. But first I wanted to show off a tool that I just got. I took a chance and ordered it from AliExpress. And here it is. This is how it came. It was in a box, and this was inside the box. And for me, it looks like it's not too bad. Could use a little sanding. For a beginner though, I don't recommend them. These are round shafted tools. I use them, but I'm a little bit more advanced turner than your average beginner. I even, on my tools that I made, like these, I filed a flat, so when I can index it onto the rest, I can tell I'm flat, where this one doesn't have it. I'll probably add that with my belt sander, or maybe just a file depending on how hard this material is. The bit is very sharp. I went with a detailing bit. This one's the pointy version. I did, however, order the radius version, like the tool you usually see me use, which is this one. But it's Ali, so it was $22 with shipping and everything included, so it's not the worst looking tool. It's a little shorter than I like mine, but I make them a lot longer. They're more comfortable for me, and if I do bowls, I got the reach to be able to get inside the bowl. But compared to the brand name Easy Wood Tools version, these are square stock. This one has the square, I have the radius cutter on it. It's very short. It's fine for making straight ink pens. I don't find it very comfortable. I like the longer handle, and I'm not willing to pay the $100 plus for the Easy Wood Tools long handle version. So let's see how this one cuts. Oh, and it even came with its own little tool that I will probably lose very quickly. Start off, as always, by rounding the blank with my round cutter on high speed, which on my lathe is 4,000 RPM. Let's stop and take a look and see what we're looking at. It's looking good. I love the burl that I got. I got this from a local wood store. I stabilized it in my vacuum chamber. And the flakes that I'm using in this are from one of the craft stores. I don't remember if it was Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I picked up a couple different bags of it and just mixed them in here. I think we're gonna do a ring in the middle and then my regular ends on the outside, so I'll make this a 1 ring. Or maybe I'll do a 2. I'll do a 3 ring on this one just to show off the tool a little better. It is very sharp. That point is a little too sharp for me to do proper beadwork. Layout is great. It cuts right in so quick. You have to be very careful. It's very sharp. I'm going to come back in with the radius cutter and round over those beads and shape them to the thickness that I like. Tool handle length is pretty comfortable. Not quite used to the shorter handle yet, but it's not a deal breaker. So all in all, I'm happy. I'm going to be replacing the tip with a radius cutter as soon as I can. If I can get this one off, I'll probably just replace it with this one. A lot of people ask me how I do my layout when I'm turning, and I have a few marks here for the average ends in the center of my workpiece, just the center of my tool rest. I try to line these up as close to the ends as possible so I have a piece that's centered, but most of it's just by eye and what the material will let you do. That's looking very nice. I went with a little less than I usually do with the flakes because I wanted you to be able to see the ends of the burl that I used. Now that I'm happy with my shape, I'll start the sanding process. Now I sand at a lower speed. Between 1300 and 1500 RPM. Which is still pretty fast, but I don't like to change the belt speeds if I don't have to. It's not too fast that I don't burn the acrylic or the wood. And it sands pretty quickly. Any faster, and then sometimes you get too much removal or it misses, just kind of skips over. And for sanding beads, I like to kind of fold my sandpaper over and just kind of get down in those creases just to smooth out the bottoms of the beads. I like to keep it all wet. Some people like to do dry. But I don't like to have to inhale all this acrylic dust. I can't imagine it's very good for your lungs. I know some sand or some woods can cause respiratory issues with the sanding dust. For me, I'm allergic to cocobolo woods. I have to wear a mask whenever I turn them, or my nose runs like a faucet and I start sneezing. Makes for hard turning. But just running through the grits here, just something you have to do as a turner. Once you've got it smooth and everything, you're just removing the scratches from your previous grit. Rinsing the sandpaper just keeps you from having to use more sandpaper than you already do. I'll use these same pieces of sandpaper for several pens. Hybrids tend to ruin the sandpaper loaded up a lot quicker because the wood dust doesn't rinse out as easily. especially the stabilized wood dust. I'm gonna be working soon on some new hybrids. I got some ideas for some new stuff. Don't want to tell you what they are quite yet, but they're gonna be interesting if I can get the materials I need. Ran out of my favorite sandpaper and I'm left having to use the 1000 grit from Harbor Freight. Doesn't hold up nearly as well as an automotive wet or dry sandpaper from 3M. That I usually use. But it gets the job done. I just go through a whole lot more of it. Now that I've gone up to 1000 grit, I'm gonna dry it off. Try to get as much sanding dust off as I can. Use a little bit of grit that the paper towel naturally has. Warm it up, get it nice and dry. I'm going to do a CA finish on it so I can get that wood nice and shiny. Starting with thin, I like to apply right to a piece of blue shop towel. Oh wait, that's thick. Wrong bottle. I start with thin, stick fast CA. These just come in from Penn Kits Mall. Right onto the paper towel, and I just wipe it right over top. And for the little beaded spots, I take my paper towel, I get it in there, and I just give it a little dot. Just a little. Trying to get a full coverage with the first coat. Thin. It dries super fast. You do not need to use the activator yet. I'm going to go one more coat of thin over the ends. Make sure I didn't miss anything. You try not to get the paper towel stuck to your finger. When you're a pen turner or wood turner, you get a lot of super glue on your fingers. A lot. Now I move on to the medium stick fast. I know some people like to use the little baggies that come with the ink pen kits. I find it's just easiest to use the blue shop towel. Gives me a nice, smooth, not too thick finish. and a little spritz every time. I always swap sides. That way I don't have one side with a thicker coating than the other. And a fresh piece of paper towel for each coat. It's very important. Do one last coat over the whole thing. Generous spritzing of activator. Make sure you put your caps back on your super glue. Don't want that drying out. And as you can see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, there's a little ridge of super glue that I've built up right here. We're gonna go ahead and sand that off, and I'm just gonna use the 800 grit sandpaper to get that. Super glue sands very quickly, doesn't take much. If I sand through my finish, I'll just go back and add a couple coats. Might go down to the 600 here. Just want to smooth it out. I think I got that smooth enough. Run back up my grits here. Looks like I didn't sand through the finish. You can tell usually if you sanded through the finish on wood, because you'll start having a wood colored sandpaper instead of the white of the super glue. And I'm just sanding 2000 grit and 3000 grit, and that'll give me a nice flat surface for my polish. I'll move my sanding bucket out of the way. Use the Dr. Kirk's Micro Magic. It's microcrystalline paste wax. Works pretty well. I'm starting to like it. Wipe the dust off first. Keep a good hold of your paper towel. Works really well to get down into the creases of the beads. Polish those all the way down. Sometimes I have problems with the buffer getting into the small creases, but this does a very good job. clean side of the paper towel. Step number 2, a white can. Increasing the speed a little bit helps to buff it out a little faster. Melts that wax a bit, gives you a smoother finish. And clean side for side 3. One more clean side just to buff it up to its final finish. And there you have it. That is one very shiny diamond painting pen. Thanks for watching.